Hello, peaceful resolution tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI Brave New World with me, BlueAnkylo, and our team of rapscallions. I just want to mention before we get to the heart of the show that I spent, a few minutes just fighting a couple battles, getting a couple Esper levels up here, and I have to say that this dungeon or this mountain in Brave New World isn't very nice. It's an area where there's no way to recover MP other than using relatively expensive tinctures. You could buy them, but they're pretty expensive. And there's no way to, rest. So you have to run away from the dungeon, go back to town to heal up, basically. To recover MP, specifically. And there's also enemies that cast Rasp, which for basically everyone on the team, it basically just immediately destroys around 90 to 100 MP. So even if you're not using magic very much to heal up or, save people, remember, of course, Brave New World, we do take a lot more damage and in general die more often. So I found even someone like Realm, who has learned Osmos, she had her MP drained to 0. So the only way she can actually get it back now is if I use one of those relatively expensive tinctures and then get lucky with an Osmos. I feel like it's a little bit unfair. I don't know, guys. It's just one of those little minor tweaks with Brave New World that they kind of made it a little bit obnoxious. I know we've talked a lot about it in the past, and I don't want to go on too long, but, the only thing Strago and Realm can really do in Brave New World is cast magic, and if they've got no MP, they're nearly useless. So, and then you need to heal and stuff, so, yeah, I feel like either get rid of the Rasp, or make tinctures cheaper, or let me just use my my tents to rest up at the save points. One of those three would be my requirement to make this dungeon less of a pain. Anyway, on with the show. We've made it to the top of the mountain. I forget the name of this place, but we've got some fancy golden statues depicting the 3 goddesses. The Espers think this is a holy land. Terra's here to make friends. Also, keep in mind that the Espers just destroyed our airship and ransacked the capital of Vector, Imperial capital. So, we might not be on great terms right now. Also, Kefka may have killed a whole bunch of them previously, and used them to supercharge his soldiers. So it's understandable that we're not really friends. Probably not the best place for Realm, that's true. Unless these ancient Magitech knights from 1,000 years ago have some way of communicating here. They're more like Celeste than Terra, though, and I have a feeling the Espers might not be a huge fan of that. So, I guess we're surrounded, hey? And we've got no MP, so we're doomed. Well, Terra? Well, yeah, we know that. Maybe Strago doesn't know what Terra is yet. I don't use that morph ability very often. Yeah, it'd be pretty bad if she, instead of joining the humans, Terra just joins the Espers and continues to destroy the world. That'd be kind of hilarious. Hey guys, what's going on? Somebody use your words. Okay. Hi, Yura. Maybe we should have gone into this encounter with Terra in morph form. They might have gone better. Yeah. I mean, it's understandable, right? Their friends were abducted 20 years ago. They wanted to help them. Apparently, Espers have some mild, they actually are supposed to have some degree of, telepathy, I guess. Like I said before, Ramu was supposed to talk to Mog telepathically at some point. Right. Yeah. About that. I don't know. The Imperial citizens there were pretty bad. At Vector specifically. Well, it's either something in the Esper world that dampens their power, or something in our world that kind of overcharges them. Which is actually probably the answer. Actually, no, now that I think about it, Strago is exactly right. Dang, there's a clue for you guys about an upcoming episode. Something in the Esper world that actually dampens magical powers. Wow. Foreshadowing. Sorry, I just had to point that out. Game is really well written, guys. Yeah, Locke, great idea. Honestly, I feel like if I was in Locke's shoes here, I'd be like, well, the Empire sorta seems like they want to talk peace. But why don't we go to Narsh instead? I don't know. Seems like that would be the wiser choice, but, you know, it's fine. You know, General Leo seems like a stand-up guy. Which is worse, the Empire or the Espers? Probably the Empire. Oh. Well, it looks like this is the end of the game. We've peacefully resolved everything. Well... yeah, I mean, this whole thing started because Gestahl and his soldiers basically invaded the Espers' homeland, so... the fact that the Espers retaliated, that's just defending themselves. Now kiss! Yeah, those two still have some issues to work out. And Tara is watching closely. I love it. And everyone laughs and the curtain closes. Now, when I said everyone laughs, you were not invited. Aren't you supposed to be in jail, Kefka? Uh-oh. Those are the red-helmeted soldiers. If you haven't seen them yet, they're not the same as the other ones we've been pounding for so long. These are like the Guardian class that, well, we can't even damage. It's like Magitech Armor Mark III or something. Wait, you killed your own soldiers. And most of us. Leo's pretty tough though, right? Alright. So, basically it was all a trap. And as always, the Espers are no match against Kefka. Oh dear. Well, those three look pretty dead. But will Leo stand for it? Wait, but all the citizens here know magic. Surely they can fight back. Apparently not. So don't hold out for the Tamasa crew to save you. Whoa, you're turning on another Imperial general. Brutal. But Leo is stronger than that. So anyway, we're playing as Leo now, by the way. Can't see his gear. It's pretty good, though. He's much higher level than all of us, you know. I think we can see his stats. His stats are, like, Amazing. Look at that. Look at that. He'll be fine. You can put him in the front row if you want. Doesn't really matter. So, Phoenix Downs, please. I think it'd be nice to have some friends here. Maybe help out. I just want to also show off one of these, just because technically you can fight the Magitech armor. It's a Guardian. Basically you've got like 3 seconds to run away or something like that. Turn back or be disintegrated. If you don't run away, in Brave New World anyway, consider yourself dead. In the original game, I think you can survive a hit or two and just run away. They, you know, Brave New World, whatever. We've talked about it. I think that's a little bit over, like, if you were just playing this for the first time and trying to see all the stuff, having to reload and redo that last dungeon's a little bit overkill here. But, anyway, you're supposed to talk to Kefka. We're done here, kid. Kefka, get out. Look at that, one shot dead. 1600 damage. I didn't show off Shock. I should have shown off Shock. I thought the fight would go a little bit longer. Shock is a really cool looking, targets the entire enemy group with pretty massive damage. Probably non-elemental or something. Gestal, when did you show up? Alright. So I guess all that at the peace conference was a lie. Everything. It was Kefka all along! Well, Leo, not good. Unfortunately, he's no match for a Magitech boosted Kefka. He is the best non-magical character around, though. Alright, Espers, take him out! Come on, guys. You got, like, at least a dozen Espers here. Surely somebody can deal with Kefka. Oh yeah, by the way, remember when I said this was sealed permanently because of the rock slide? Turns out breaking that seal, that barrier from 20 years ago, not that difficult. You just need a whole bunch of really angry Espers. Yeah, they're here to help. So, I think basically the entire Esper population basically comes out to save their friends. Pretty much all of them. They've had it with the Emperor. Again, like I said, telepathy. They sort of know what just happened at the peace treaty between Leo and the Espers we just met. It's just so terrible. Oh man. The Kefka quotes. Now I always wondered what exactly magic he was using here. I've never seen a spell that just neutralizes all magic and also kills the Guardians. But apparently Kefka is able to just one-shot any Esper and basically stop them from... it's like paralyzed or something, I don't know. He knows the Vanish X-Zone trick. That's what it was. He just cast Vanish on everyone and then X-Zone. It was never patched out for Kefka. So there's another Ifrit kind of guy. Fire 3. Apparently, Kefka has like a flame shield, so he's immune to fire. Bad luck. The Magitek Empire of Kefka? Wait a second. See, look, it is X-Zone. That's the spell animation for X-Zone. Ah, dang it. That's a really strong spell, though. Gotta give him credit for that. Wonder if you could build a character that's as strong as Kefka is in this scenario. Like, if you counted the number of times he cast magic, you could see how much MP it would cost. I mean, he just did, like, 8 times casting. Kind of crazy. 6. Some number. Oh, Kefka. Wait, the sealed gate is not sealed, guys! They opened it now. This is not good. They should have just left it sealed. Oh, yeah. And, you know, cutscene deaths? They're for real. Leo was definitely the best of them. Uh-oh. More bad news, guys. Luckily, Locke took animal husbandry as a secondary skill. Well, at least Realm has a new friend. Right? At least? Yeah, what about all those other people that were in the Empire, if it was all a trap in the first place? Well, it looks like they're alive. Oh, right, thanks. Yeah, if only you could have shown up like an hour ago. Yeah. It's no time for laughing, seriously. Like, you guys don't know what just happened. Yeah, by the way. And all the Espers that came by got killed as well. And the sealed gate is probably open. More great news. Now, Strago is probably thinking big picture here. Seems to be one of the few people that kind of knows what's going on. Really what the Empire is up to. Gestalt, specifically. I've been trying to leave a few hints along for new viewers. What? Sabin would love to be suplexed by himself. What are you talking about? Now, seriously, we have an airship. If we flew off without her, how would she ever catch up with us? It's one thing for her to walk to a mountain. It's another thing for her to fly off on an airship on her own, without an airship. Yeah, she probably needs an adult. So, well, not a great start, right? There's our team. Out of order. Realm's not a lot at the top. Stay behind your grandpa. So, you can still go back to Tamasa, of course. I guess, for whatever reason, it didn't get obliterated like Kefka wanted. So there's that. Might get some interesting cutscenes. Hello, Leroy, warrior extraordinaire. Didn't he have a different name in the original game? Let's learn a little bit about Strago's backstory. Old war stories? Wait, these guys were in the war? What war? We'll, talk about the Haydn eventually. It's gonna take a while before we approach that subject. So, you know, the house got burned down. We can't really go in there. Interceptor's just been hanging out here, because, you know, I guess that's all he's got left, with Shadow being quite dead. Espers are all pretty dead. People not having a great time. Can't steal his sword, sadly. Looked like a pretty awesome sword. There's also more graves than there used to be. Probably, I guess some of the people must have died. I guess there's one thing we could pick up while we're here. Secrets. Where is it? There's a secret here. I always forget the exact spot. There we go. Memento ring. So, you know, Realm. She could equip Memento ring. It's supposed to prevent instant death attacks. I don't know for sure in Brave New World if it's exactly the same. It looks like it gives her more stats than I would have expected. So that's something. She's already fast enough. Her vigor doesn't really matter. Sure, go with that. Okay, so we got our Memento ring. I think that's it for Tamasa, honestly. I mean, everyone's pretty upset. As is only appropriate. I suppose we could have checked if there was any equipment to buy for Realm. Now that we've got, like, pretty much the whole team. We could buy her a white dress instead of her, like, animal-themed armor. She can't wear Mystery Veils, she's too young. I wouldn't mind having a spare one of these anyway. We've got a fair bit of money, but just a lot of things I'd like to buy still coming up, obviously. Just to compare here. I think the Tabby Hide's probably better. Couple points of magic for the white dress, but... I mean, the white dress is more magically oriented for magic defense, but it doesn't make that big of a difference anyway, I don't think. Oh, we could pick up a new brush for her. She can use rods, of course. I guess I didn't mention that earlier. If you want her to do offensive attacks, just like Strago, she can equip rods. So she could get elemental spells using MP criticals. But, I don't know. I kind of like her being unique with her paintbrushes. She's the only one that can equip them. And I know at least one paintbrush we can go buy right now. Oh yeah, I guess we should probably worry about this. Statues? Yeah. This, might be problematic. so Gestalt has always had his eyes on the prize here. The Espers are great, but there is something grander that he's looking for. Remember that sealed cave I told you about? How you only had one chance to get the items and stuff in it? Well, I sure hope you weren't living on that mountain, 'cause things are about to get real rude. Yeah, floating continent, you know, why not? And that would be the 3 statues they were talking about. The real ones, not a replica. Which means, are they actually statues? You guys remember the lore? They might in fact be goddesses turned to stone, holding magic in balance. Yeah, you guys remember that, reading those golden statues, right? Probably not be good, I guess, is the idea here, Strago. What would happen? Ah! So we should stop them. Good thing we've got an airship. Not sure what we would do here if we didn't have an airship. So now, whenever you take off, you have the option to go to the floating continent, which will trigger possibly endgame. Or we can still fly around, so that's, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. We're gonna save our floating continent adventure for another episode. There's a few things we can do left. Where'd my map go? Did I get rid of the map? There it is. Alright, so the paintbrush that I was talking about is here. We picked this up quick for Realm. First time we've been able to fly around with Realm, so might as well pick that up quick. I'm sure some of you guys love using Realm. I think it's at the item shop, oddly enough. It's in Brave New World. You know, hey, don't ask me. Anyway, Diva brush. I think it's better than her original brush. I mean, it probably heals a little bit more if battle power works. She gets a little bit less magic power. I guess I don't know what so this one can cast safe when she attacks with it. What does the original brush do, though? Probably nothing, I would guess. Light brush. Yeah, so the original is just plain Jane. I assume then the Diva brush is probably straight up an improvement then. So that's kind of why I want to go pick that up. Let's see, otherwise, what do we want to do? Alright, most people aren't going to change their lines just now. Let's see. I'm going to check if Edgar has any new tools unlocked. Brave New World kind of rearranges some of the tool unlocking, so I'm not sure just what the triggers are for all of it, the way I would have known in the original game. I have a feeling, of course, one step, one encounter. I have a feeling we might have to wait a little bit longer, though. Just for interest's sake, want to see that. Thanks. Thanks, game. So, before we head to the floating continent, there's a few things I'd like to do. There's probably a few more rages for Gal that I could try to learn. And there's definitely some... That's cool. So, heals and gets you physical protection. Why not? There's definitely some lores that I would like to learn from Strago. I'm pretty sure we can learn White Wind. And maybe we'll try to do that on camera today if it doesn't take too long. Because I think I remember where an enemy casts it. And specifically with Realm Sketch, we should be able to trigger stuff like that pretty quickly if you know what a learnable lore is. And unfortunately, I'm not 100% on Brave New World's list. Well, I can read the list, but I don't know what enemies cast all the right stuff. So Figaro, check for new tools. No new tools. I did buy that drill earlier, so we've got 4 out of 8 tools, and we might not be able to buy any more for a while. I know in the original game, well, you could have gotten a tool really early in Zozo, and I think you can steal one from one of the enemies in the Magitech research facility, so you could actually get most of his tools pretty early. Unfortunately, in Brave New World, I haven't found a way to do that. There may be a way, but I haven't found a way. Just in case something's changed up here, I'm going to check with this Colosseum, the guy that wants to build a Colosseum, because he's been changed in Brave New World as well a bit. Because he was selling us all those Magitech. Not Magitech, Magicite. Alright, looks like he only sells the 2 that you would have normally got from the auction house. And as far as we know, the auction house is just never going to open up. I assume they may have cut the auction house out because it maybe used up a lot of memory on the RAM or something. On the ROM, that is. I don't know. Maybe it'll still show up later, for all I know. So then, what I was thinking of is, I believe it was around South Figaro here, some of the Rabbites, or whatever they were called, that every now and then used White Wind. I remember noticing it pretty early on, and thinking that if Gao could learn that Rage, it would be really nice. But then, it turned out he was unable to learn this Rage, so maybe, I think it's these guys. It's either these guys or something very similar to them. The counterattacks could kind of mess this up a bit, if we've got counters. Holy Wind, that's not White Wind. I don't know if we'll be able to learn that one. That's not quite what I was hoping for. Maybe I was wrong. So there's probably an enemy somewhere out there that casts the actual White Wind spell. Looks like maybe I had the wrong name down. So I think I've learned, also one of the things I forgot to mention is at the beginning of the episode, I did try to learn most of Strago and Realm's spells, just so I had them sorted out, so we didn't have to grind for them. Test that out in just a second. Oh, we do learn Holy Wind, alright! Maybe they just renamed it. Excellent. Alright, so it works exactly like how White Wind normally works. Good, so that's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. So that puts us at like 4. We've got a strong water attack, a kind of status ailment that's probably not very useful, a pretty good healing spell. The weakness here is Strago's HP is not that high, so it's difficult for this to work super strongly. Like, normally the characters don't have significantly lower HP substantially than the rest of the party. So if everyone had around 1,000 max HP, you could just heal Strago and then have him use White Wind or whatever to basically top everyone else up. But maybe we won't be able to do that. I don't know. Okay, well that's 4 lures. I don't know which other ones we'll be able to get. I'll have to look it up if there's any I can find. That was the one I was looking for. There are much fewer lures than originally. Let's see. I'm just looking at the list if there's anything that looks likely. It would be really nice if we could get another attack spell that was cheap. There's one called Blaze that looks relatively low damage. And I think I've seen enemies use the Blaze ability, but... oh, I don't know which ones they were for sure. Maybe some of the ones that were on the Phantom Train? I'm pretty sure we ran into enemies that had Blaze. I'm just going to have to look around for it. Blaze being like one of the earlier ones. So just to show off Holy Wind, MP is pretty expensive, but it should be 573 for the whole group, which is not bad. And it scales well as your MP goes up. I expect it's not as great as Cure 2 right now, but... oh, well, we killed him before we get to see it, but that's fine. So anyway, I think I'm going to end the episode here. I'll do some off-camera exploring. I'm going to try to find someone that casts a couple spells for lures. And I might spend a bit more time in the Veldt. learning a few more rages. Well, I guess there's one other thing I'd like to do. Like, there's not too much left for us. If you haven't done the Mog trip yet, seriously learn Water Rondo for Mog now. Don't wait any longer. This is kind of your last chance. Oh, I know. There's a couple things we can do real easy. Good. I almost forgot. So this is the first time we've had the airship since we've had the Empire leave all of the occupied castles and cities. And even though it was all a lie, they didn't send soldiers back. So Doma is no longer occupied. Now, unfortunately, everyone here is dead. So it's not too good. I don't think there's a whole lot we can get here. I just want to show you the castle. I don't really want to rest, but maybe remember that for later. And Ether, that's totally worth it. Elixir makes it. That's better than nothing. Oh, there was that treasure chest in Cyan's family's room. Yeah. We didn't even bring Cyan back. It's too much for him. He's not ready. This is where I want to go, though. So, if there's one thing you do before you attack the floating continent, I would suggest heading down here. The Murasame and the Power Glove. Both of these are really good. In fact, I don't know if they're missable in Brave New World, but the Murasame is a very powerful two-handed sword. It should be considerably stronger physically than that last one we had. The, I don't know if we still have it here, but the Kazakiri with the Wind Slash. So it was 150 battle power. The Murasame is 160, so it's a bit stronger. And it has the counterattack, so it depends on if you want Wind Slash or if you just want counters and stuff. But it's pretty good. And then the Power Glove is, like, really strong as well. It's not bad. It's actually really good. And pretty much anyone can use it. And 25% damage. It's the same as the Muscle Belt in the original game. In the original game, there was earrings for magic damage. I think it was the Muscle Belt for physical damage, and then the Hero Ring for both physical and magical damage. And they were always some of the best relics in the game, just because boosting your damage is very, very helpful. So that's one that I highly recommend picking up. Those two specifically. And I don't think there's anything else in Doma Castle, so let's get out of here so the episode doesn't go too long. We can also go back to South Figaro, which is no longer occupied, but I don't think there's anything to do there, other than demonstrate that pretty much everywhere in the world has been freed of Imperial occupation, except Vector, which is, well, I can show you that too if you want. I figure next episode I want to start by going to the floating continent, so we'll try to wrap up terrestrial business here on camera. So, South Figaro, if you're interested. I mean, we did do all that extra diplomacy to free these cities. We should at least see them one time. Looks like they mostly have just reverted to what they said before before they got invaded the first time, so I don't expect there's too much to do. I guess they left a Magitech armor here. It's not like the shops get updated in inventory or anything. I feel like this is one of the sort of weaknesses of the original game. I always felt like if you succeeded in freeing South Figaro or any other cities, there should be some reward for it. Like better shops, or townspeople throw you a party, or I don't know, something. But I've never found anything that we get specifically for it. Oh, I know one thing we could do. I think I mentioned it earlier and then I forgot to do it. Just gotta pick up Sabbath quick. No, not that. So, we'll bring mostly the same people, just because I am going to try to get some lores, and Sketch is very useful for getting lores. Although I think if Gao uses something that has a learnable lore, he will also learn... Like, if you select Gao's Rage that uses something that's learnable, then Strego will still learn it. So that's another combination that's has some potential. Oh, and just because I mentioned it and then I forgot... So, I haven't quite learned all of Realm's magic, but, like, almost there. There's not a whole lot left, so you can have Drain, why not? Oh yeah, I haven't used any of her Esper levels either, wow. I don't know, she seems to have relatively low max MP right now, and as much as Osmos helps, I'd like her to have, like, closer to 200 base. So there you go. Get her base MP up a little bit, and then boost her speed so she gets more turns. You know, I figure that's not terrible. I'd like to boost her magic a bit more as well, so that's fun. And then, Strago, oh, he's missing just Warp. Anything else? Berserk. None of these spells are very valuable, but there you go. And for him, I think his MP is high enough. Stamina might be useful for him. I don't know exactly what it applies. Like, some of his lores might use stamina to deal damage, so that could have some value. But for now, let's just boost his magic up. Because that will be useful for most, like, anything under the magic command. And I'm pretty sure most of his lores use magic anyway. So, that seems good. So yeah, basically everyone's got, like, all the normal magic they can learn. I would be very surprised if there is any, other than a couple spells for Strago and Realm. In Brave New World, it really doesn't take too long to learn all these. So, for Terra, she's actually got a ton of MP, and once I hit 1,000 HP, I don't think you need to boost it anymore. So for her, I guess magic and stamina, I don't know. I don't feel like the plus HP does much anymore, so I'd like to give her +2 magic if that was an option, but this at least kind of boosts her in a couple ways. Alright, anyway, that's all that is. I don't want to level grind too much, but it's nice to have lots of Esper levels. Okay, so also, in case I did fly over, right? Like, this continent is completely gone, so any treasure you left in there is gone forever. What was I gonna do? Oh, psh, I flew away. Got too many things on my brain. I meant to go into South Figaro with Sabin. So you may remember back from Sabin's story that the story was that Vargas went crazy and killed their master, Duncan. And Duncan's wife lives in South Figaro. We could have gone back after recruiting Sabin to talk to her. Hopefully she still wants to talk, though. Well, that's too bad. There is a scene, I did miss it then, I guess. I thought we had a chance to come back later. Maybe I did. Maybe I just didn't come back at the right time. But, she was pretty confident that, Duncan was not dead, even though Sabin thinks he was killed by Vargas. I guess there's no body to prove it one way or the other. Anyway, no Duncan back anyway, so she's still living on her own. Okay, so next up... right, so there's an interesting battle we can do up here. We'll probably not win it because I'm not prepped for it specifically, but this island, you may have noticed, is a little different, and it's kind of a triangle, and I think there might be someone somewhere in the world that talks about this place. In fact, I'm pretty sure one random NPC somewhere mentions something about a special monster that might be invisible. I'm just gonna put a save down because I have a feeling we die, but also I have Sabin who's got no equipment, so give me a sec. I should at least give him some sort of relic. This probably won't do anything, but give him a couple things. Wonder how that will work with what's going to come up. Something to test out anyway. And then he should at least equip an Esper, even if it doesn't do much. Oh, I looked it up. Golem absorbs as much HP damage as the character has HP max. So if Sabin casts it right now, the Golem will soak up 864 physical damage dealt to the party. That's not bad, you know, it's not a huge buff, but it's something. Okay, well, just leafers, that's nothing to worry about. I wonder if these guys have anything interesting. Air Blast. Oh yeah, we've seen that. These guys, Gal learned their rage, so we knew what they could do. Now, I'm also assuming that the fight here is still in Brave New World. I'm not even 100% sure. It could have been removed. I know it was in the original Final Fantasy VI. I just don't know if, like, maybe it's only in the forest or something. I'll tell you what. I'm going to cut a cut in the episode, and I'll come back when I find it, or not, because it might take a few random encounters for me to see it. See you guys in a minute. Alright, I got it. Took me about 3 fights. Everyone say hello to the Intangir. What's he gonna do? I'm actually not 100% sure, so we'll have some fun. I wouldn't be surprised if he kicks our butt, but you never know. Looks like it's quite likely he'll have water magic then, if Realm can sketch it back at him. You should look at this fight as basically a boss fight, if I know anything. So we suplexed him, which should slow him. I'm going to scan him just for interest's sake. Let's see if we get any information that might help. Weak to ice and slowed. Alright, well. We'll see what happens. It's not too bad. Okay, that was suspiciously easy. Alright. I was expecting a little bit more. I'm not sure exactly what's happened in Brave New World with the Intangir. I mean, I'm glad we fought it because that will unlock it in the Veld. And if there's a rage we can learn from it, now Gao, if we run into it in the Veld, can learn it. I mean, you can bring Gao up here now anyway, but... interesting. I wonder if he's got some learnable lore that he just didn't use. We got him again. Good. Let's do one more. I feel like it's worth trying because he's kind of a unique encounter. Looks like he uses at least El Nino, but I think there's usually 2 sketches for most enemies, so... He doesn't actually have as much life as I was originally expecting, so... I don't want to... Well, let's just give him a couple attacks, see what he does. Maybe he's just one of those enemies that got easier in Brave New World. Haha. Looks like 3 out of 3 El Nino, I don't know. Maybe that's all we get? I was expecting to show you guys kind of an interesting battle, but... I believe in the original, he starts vanished. So you can't hit him with physical, and then once you damage him with magic, he does a really nasty counterattack. It actually is quite difficult to kill him when you're at a not terribly high level. But, I mean, he's not doing any of that today, so... I mean, maybe if we cast some magic on him, maybe he still counters it. But I just killed him in 1 magic. Let's try something he's not weak to, like just fire, I guess. Maybe he absorbs it or something. He's not countering with anything terrible. Huh, we'll do 1 more sketch. Maybe this guy just not so interesting anymore. Shucks. Yeah. Oh well, no big deal. Let's do something like this. Well, I guess that's the end of the Intangir. I tried. He gives you pretty good spell points, so if you're trying to grind up some spells, why not? Alright, we're gonna end the episode here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Next episode, we'll attack the floating continent, and, if I come up with anything that we missed in between episodes, I'll let you guys know what I've done. I'll try to pick up some rages, and I'll try to find a lore or 2, and I'll let you know how to get those if you're playing along. I'm not 100% sure what we can do, but I'll give it a try. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you next time.